Holy Spirit, I ask that you start this video with me and yeah, be with me through the course of this video. Hi guys. Hi guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a hot minute, right? I've been away for a while and the truth is I can't even I know why I've been away, right? I know why, but I can't pinpoint the reason why I wasn't able to record, because I mean there were times where I had the vibe to record something and then I just didn't, right? So, and I feel like that wasn't such a good thing that I did, right? I think nothing should limit you from doing what you put your heart into. That leads me to the first thing I want to talk about. And from the name of this video, from the title of this video, you're already now talking about consistency, right? So basically, I feel like the first thing that we need to come into realization is the fact that you cannot successfully do something the way you want it to be. You can't successfully do something without putting your heart in it. That's the truth. Like, you can't. I feel like, well, I can't, right? If my heart is not in something, I won't do it the way I would do it when, maybe this other loves to cook now, right? This is other loves to cook, right? If I want to cook, it's a different energy from when this other loves to run, obviously. Right? So yeah, so basically I'm going to be talking about consistency and how advising just not just myself but you guys and any other person that really needs ginger, that really needs that, that extra push to do the things that they've been wanting to do for a long time, right? So number one is putting your heart in it. I mean, when people say I'm even going to rephrase that, because when people say put your heart in something, I feel like there's a level of certainty and interest your heart pumps into something without you even trying to do it. For instance, like I said, this guy loves to cook. There's a pump, there's an interest, there's a ever ready interest of me wanting to always get into the kitchen and cook something, right? So it's very important that we put our heart into it. Look at your heart, examine yourself, look inwards. Do you really love it? I mean, doing things long, especially when you want to do things that are long term, doing things long term means that your heart has to be in it. Your heart has to be in it, right? So you have to really examine yourself. Oh, Desola, do you really want to start a YouTube channel? It's writing then, and I will get a book. I start to write all the things that has to do with setting up a YouTube channel, weekly content, or I mean everybody will have a time frame, right? So you have a time frame of the type of content and the timing of the content, right? Or maybe I choose weekly content. Can you do it? Can you meet up to it with it? If you have things that shut your feelings down, can your heart still pump that, feeling, that interest towards it and want to shoot that video, right? That's very important. You have to search yourself inwards, look at the things, look at the things that surround it. Get a book, write all these things down, so that when you are down or something, you go back to that same book or your notepad or whatever, and then you start to remind yourself of the reason why you started. Look at all the ginger that you gave yourself, so that your heart refuels itself, right? Your heart refuels itself. I mean, your heart can get weak sometimes. I mean, there's so many things that can bring you down. I mean, I started this YouTube channel with the intention of being consistent, with the intention of, putting my heart in it, really trying my best to do something on YouTube, and then 2 videos in, I literally went down the trail. God forbid. I literally stopped, right? So the most important thing and the first thing on my list is let your heart truly examine your heart. Can your heart withstand the strain, the all the things that has to do with starting that particular thing? Not just YouTube, I mean starting anything, a business, getting a job, all these things, involving yourself in something, specifically, can you withstand long-term goals that you set your heart to do? Examine them, examine how your heart can withhold them, and all of that. Number two is surrounding yourselves with people, myself, with people that are there to support you when you no longer feel the need to do these things, or when you feel down, or when you are not putting out that content that you've been saying that you put out weekly. For instance, I said I'm going to be putting out weekly content on YouTube and I didn't. I mean, if I had like this circle of friends that I've put in charge of my YouTube, or made accountable for my YouTube channel, I would have felt the urge. I would have questioned myself, well, like, why are you not shooting this video? Like, what was so strenuous? What's the like limitation? What's making you hold back on not shooting this video and all that? I would question myself, right? I would try to put myself in the shoes of people that have been waiting. See me talking like someone that has blown. Anyway, like, I put myself in the shoes of people that have been waiting for this video, right? Surrounding myself with these people that will ask me questions, criticize, talk about it, tell me each time, remind me, right? And all of that. Number three, surrounding yourself like with a space of people. Surround yourself in a space of people that are in the same line of the things that you do. So now I'd like to like expand this to like in the internet as well. So you can like, surround yourself with people that are in the same line of work as you do, or the same line of business that you do, or content that you create. So that each time like you're not putting out content, they're putting out content and you're seeing it and you're triggered, you're intrigued, like, oh my god, I have to shoot mine, I have to put mine out there. Not comparison or competition. I'm just saying surround yourself with people that will make you want to do the things that you set your heart to do originally, right? For instance, I'm a YouTuber. I'm surrounding myself with people that do YouTube. My TikToks, my Instagram, and all these things are feeding me with ideas, feeding me with these things that would enable me or give me this push to shoot a video. The next one, and I would like to talk about for consistency, is have a timetable for yourself, maybe a monthly timetable. So every month you renew it. Write out the content you want to create through the weeks, through the months, and work towards it. I mean, always planning. There's this thing that people say: when you plan to fail, you fail to plan. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yeah, like people always say this stuff, and I feel like it's apt. Like it's like true. Like if you don't plan, whenever you now want to shoot that video, you are caught spot on. Especially when it's not inspired by something and you just want to shoot a video, you just sit down there looking at your camera with a blank head. It happened to me so many times, like through these weeks I've not posted a video. Like it happened to me so many times. So like, okay, so you have a book that you like write these things down. Oh, week 1 I want to talk about consistency. Week 2 you want to put out a cooking video. Week 3 a get ready with me. Week 5 and all of that, like through your social medias or through anything you're doing. If you're starting a business and you know that weekly you want to do adverts for your business, you want to take pictures for your business, you want to be at work by 8 a.m. weekly, write it down and see. Go back to like when you have a book, you're able to keep like a track record, like you're able to keep a record, like so that when the next month comes and you see that you were not productive, you go back and see, oh, did you do those things that you set your heart to do before? Consistency, that will help you be consistent. That will help you even improve and be better. I mean, when you see that, oh, it's just you being lazy, you know that, oh, now you have to put in the work. So now the next thing on your agenda is putting in the work. Like, do you get, like, you're making plans? You're not just going into the month with a blank head and just sitting. I mean, that month you already know what you're doing and you're planning ahead. Like if you need to get a mic for this thing, your thing, I mean, mic is too far, but like if you need to get like things, little things, like, oh, what background do you want to use, the lighting, the camera, stuff like that. So you just put things like in front, like you're already having all these things so that nothing delays you and you don't have anything that is stopping you from shooting that video. The next thing on my list is stop having a mind that is not willing. You know, there's the heart. Like I see myself as 4 things: mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Now this is how it works. If your mind is not willing, your your body will never get into action. Neither will your emotions, your heart feel the need to, and then all these things just connect for me, right? So if your mind is not willing, if you don't set your mind to it, if your mind is not thinking, is not willing, is not active, or maybe I want to shoot a video, my heart is in YouTube. Oh, genuinely, like I really want to have a YouTube channel and grow and all of that, but like now this other was to have 500k followers, amen, on YouTube. Let's say you just have like a goal on YouTube channel, like, oh, you want to shoot like 10 videos within 2 months and all of that, right? But your mind is not willing. you want to do it, you will want it, like you want this thing, but your mind is just lazy. Stop having a lazy mind. Set your mind to it. Maybe you just have like this like apps, or like me, I use my Bible app for inspiration, sharp, but like all the another app, but like all this like, or you can even make it yourself, sticky notes, like Canva, you can do it on Canva, like sticky notes, or all this, or a proper physical sticky notes, put it on your bedside or something like that reminds you, shoot this video today, you're strong, you have the mind for it, you're energized. Like just write all these things down, because I mean, if your mind is lazy, you never do it, you never stand up to do it, like you never execute it basically. So like you have to change your mindset, you have to build your mind, to train your mind to wanting to do the things that your heart is ready to do. See, the heart is a place where everything that you want to do is stored in and just waiting to be poured out, like poured out, right? Thoughts, but like waiting for it to like be thoughts in your mind and all that. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but like, yeah, you have to, your mind has to be active and willing. People have lazy, I have a lazy mind. I used to have in the past. Now get behind me, right? I used to have a lazy mind and all of that, but now I'm just trying to train my mind to wanting to execute all these things that my heart wants to do, right? So another point is always, 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 always put God first. Always put God first. Trust me, like all these things that I've said, all these things I've said from the beginning, of this video would not work how you want it to work. I mean, it might work, maybe just somehow it works, but it won't be as sweet. That's really what I can say to describe it. It won't be as sweet if you don't put God in it. Imagine, say you want to like make a monthly plan, like January, February, March. You want to have a monthly plan of how you're going to put content out there or do certain stuffs. If you don't have inspiration, if you don't have something or someone if you don't have someone to ask these questions, trust me, you would always be blank when you put your hand on that paper. People will tell you, oh, they have a very creative mind. That's God gave you that mind. So you really have to ask the owner of the mind to drop all of these ideas for you. You have to ask the owner of the mind to drop the willingness in your mind, to let your heart be in the right place at the right time, always. Like God is literally the foundation of all of these things. This is God, right? I started this video and not saying God first because I knew that I wanted everything to go in a sequence. This is God, and then the plans, your mind, accountability partners, all of these things come on top of it. If God is not there, trust me, if you see now, there's literally nothing in this space. If God is not here, everything just keeps falling and it keeps going back up and up and up. That's why sometimes when we start, say, put our mind to something and we start it and we have accountability partner, you see that one day you just realize that all these partners that you have, all these people that you've placed to be accountable on your behalf for your whatever, is not even there anymore. Like all these things just keep going in a cycle. I mean, we don't want that. We want a cycle that is measurable with growth or by growth, right? So God is the foundation of growth. It's the foundation of a blooming mind, the foundation of attracting all these things that you want for yourself. So I mean, if you don't pray it, you won't own them. I mean, you can only have them temporarily, but you won't own them, right? So God is like literally the first thing on my list, right? So without God, remember, all these things come on top. With God, all these things come up on top and they stay. Without God, it's just a shadow, right? You have nothing to hold them in place. You have no cycle, you have no growth, you have no balance, you have nothing to fall back to, you have no book to look back and see how far you've gone over the years, right? So yeah, another way of being consistent is having people that love your content. And not, I mean, you can have a YouTube channel and have a whole comment section of people that love your content. You can have a YouTube channel and have people around you that stay close to you, that are around you basically, that talk about it repeatedly and all the time. Now I'm not talking about accountability partners. I'm talking about people that remind you of how great, how beautiful, and how amazing your craft is. That's what I'm saying. You have to have those kind of people around you. I mean, if you don't have them, there's always somebody. You just have to search, ask God, who is this person that will always remind me when I'm tired of shooting a video, that, oh my God, I love your content. That person will just come randomly. Like I have, like, I'll call her an auntie. She's in my church, This woman asked me back to back every week I'm in church. This other, why have you not why have you not like read this video out? So, like she kept asking. Now at first I won't lie, I thought it was her doing too much, but then that was my mind. Like I realized that that is God putting somebody that loves your content there to keep reminding you when you at that time I was like in a very low moment. I didn't want to shoot anything now, or not like I didn't want YouTube anymore, I just didn't feel like shooting any video. I felt like I didn't have anything to say to people. I mean, YouTube is literally talking to people. You don't just go there, talk, and then you have like, do you get like, so like she was literally there to remind me every time I go home. I just thought about it like, hey God, I literally started this channel and I was like, oh my God, I want to be killed, I want to have this and that and all of that. And this woman kept reminding me every time, and it sunk deep, and now it's teaching me a lot. I feel like I will still do something like a video on that because it's like a whole different story, right? Misunderstanding people and all of that. Yeah, but like point is, have somebody that loves your craft around you that keeps reminding you. I mean, you don't force having them. They would come, trust me, they would come, right? So I've come to the end of this video. I hope you guys held on to something. Consistency is very much possible. You can be consistent. You can put out that content every week. You can make that dress today. You can do all of these things today. Just put your mind to it. Ask God about it. Surround yourself with people. Have a book. Have a record. You know, look back. Like all these things are possible when you set your heart to it. And I pray and hope for every other person out there like me who is hoping to be consistent with their craft, that they really get to that point where they are really consistent back to back, right? Yeah, so bye guys, see you on my next video.